2, 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's showtime.
In a dark wood, I could have sworn they called my name. The cries bring one to knowing that either way, it's all the same, all the same. Moving glass stares right through me. Sundogs feed on a black moon, their throbbing sound in my stomach, in my gut. As you see me, mouth full of curses, head full of fire that never tires. to me. The horses' heads will look away. Queen King 3 times asks me, what is it you are seeking? My way home, my way home.
What's up, everybody? It's Sarah Whizbanger here with the Whizbanger Show and the second edition of the post-show theme here on the Whizbanger Show on this lovely March spring day. It's gorgeous out here where I am. I hope it's nice where you are. This is episode number 272, closing in on that 300 mark, and hopefully we'll get to it by the end of the year. We'll see what happens. Maybe. I don't know if there are that many weeks left in the year. I'm not going to math it right now. But I have so much great stuff to share with you today. Just an amazing collection of bands that describe themselves in the post genre, really looking at like sort of after the formula. So when the genre becomes more experimental and introspective, and we've got post-punk, post-hardcore, post-black metal, post-metal, shoegaze is in there. Some post-punk, did I say that already? We've got a band that describes themselves as post-punk doom country, which I fell right in love with. I actually got that promo this morning, and I'm like, there's room for one more. Let's do this. Some shoegaze, some sludge. Yeah, it's all over the map. It's really good, beautiful, wonderful stuff. The kind of music that, for me anyway, I find that I can meditate to and just get like a lot of work done. It's like focus music for me, this genre. So it's awesome. So we're rounding out everything that I have in my coffers that is a post genre. And I will share with you the last episode, some of the bands that I shared that day for that show last year at some point. I can't remember what date it was, but let me tell you who you heard. That was a band called Ode to an Old Friend with the track Acceptance. This is a one human band, a guy named Dan de Banan. And Ode to an Old Friend is really about that. What he says is it's a project to process grief and honor his friends. And I got his name wrong. It's Dan DeRoque. And you can get this album and a couple of other releases that he has independently released, Ode to an Old Friend on Bandcamp. And then he also has a Facebook page. This was from an October of 2024 album called Collections of Grief. And he is from Ranst, Belgium, and describes his band as post-stoner. Before that, we kicked things off with Steve Von Till of Neurosis fame, describes his music as acoustic folk. It was a little bit of a cheat. I'm like, it's post, let's put it in there. We're going to call it post-folk. With the track In Your Wings, released on Neurot Records back in 2015. The name of the album is called A Life Unto Itself. Here's a cool thing about Neurot Records, and I want to encourage you to subscribe to them because they have great newsletters. But another thing that they do is they will release tons of their releases of their music, albums, bands, for Name Your Price. And so they send it out like every few weeks or like once a month, and there'll be a newsletter release, and it'll be just a huge list of Name Your Price lists. So they can be free, but I always encourage people to at least pledge $1 or $2 for those Name Your Price blessings. And they're only there for like a short while. So I've gone back and I've saved some of the emails, and I've gone back and I'm like, shit, they're not Name Your Price anymore. So it's good if you are like me and you obsessively collect music. It is nice for those Name Your Price albums to come your way, because then of course you build your collection. All right. I'm going to stop talking and play some more music, and I'll talk to you a little bit more about the last show that I did. And yeah, let's go to France. We're going to go to Paris and listen to a band called Radiant. And the track I picked for you is called Radio C. And I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host with the most. And when we come back, I will tell you a little bit more about this band, and I'll also share with you some information about the last post show I did. If you missed it, I'll tell you what to look for, and you can go find it on the SoundCloud or YouTube or Deezer, which is where you will find all Whizbanger episodes streaming. All right, I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host with the most. Thank you so much for letting me hang out with you today. Sit back and let me ease your, wow, that came out weird. Sit back, relax, and let me ease you into your weekend, day, whatever day it is, whatever time it is. I'm glad you're here with me today. Thank you so much for tuning in, push and play, and hanging out with me. what's up, everybody? And we are back, and I wanted to share with you who I played when I did the first post show, and that was in November of 2025. It's show number 269. If you are interested in going and listening to it, maybe you heard it already, and you can check it out on Deezer or YouTube or my SoundCloud page, or you could just Google the Whizbanger Show post show. It should just come right up. That show had Bull Shannon, Pinkish Black, Thing, Mirrors of Thrace, Guiltless, Terzila, Neurosis, Belief, A Light Within, Spineless, Drowned Ship, Asinojake, Karg the Grey, Below a Silent Sky, Ruby Ate the Fig, Eye of Nyx, and Point Mort. And it was awesome. And so please go and check it out if you haven't already. And of course, to Neurosis in both shows. I mean, how can you do a post show without Neurosis? You can't. So that was Neurosis just then, and that was Fear and Sickness off their 2007 album Given to the Rising on Neurot Recordings. Neurosis.com is where you can find out all about what this band's doing and what's moving and shaking over there with those guys. And I want to give a special nod to Through Silver and Blood, which was released in 1996, and For the Purists in the Room, where that is the album that started it all, the post genre, and these guys post-punk, post-metal, and all things in between, and they're from the Bay Area, and a couple of them are old good friends of mine. Radiant, top of the set from Paris, France, with the track Radio Si or Radio Si. This band is described as Baroque noise, post-noise, or avant-garde rock. And their album ORA, their EP, dropped in October of 2022 on the label Jarane Records. And that's Jarane. If you want to hear more about this band, check them out on the Bandcamp page for the record label. That's where you can find the album ORA on Jarane, Jarane, bandcamp.com, and the band radiant.ora. They can be found on Instagram, and that is only social that I found about them. You can also find a little bit more about the band on the Jarane Records website, which is jarane.fr for France. And that brings us current. I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host with the most. You are listening to show number 272 on this lovely spring day. I hope it's not snowing where you are. One of the universities I teach for just shut down because it's snowing. It's sunny where I'm at. All right, that's it. And away we go. Here's a little, let me tell you who you're going to hear. This is Close the Hatch with the track Hedge Rider, and they are a post-metal outfit out of Dayton, Ohio in the USA, and I'll talk a little bit more about this band and their album and where you can find them when we come back. I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host with the most, and you are tuned into the Whizbanger Show. Thank you so much for tuning in and hanging out with me, and away we go.
to die. In breathless sleep all grief shall falter as I take your life. Come and close your eyes forever. Lay down and choose to die. In breathless sleep all grief shall falter as I take your life. Come and close your eyes forever. Lay down and choose to die. In breathless sleep all grief shall falter as I take your life.
All right, we are back, and that was your first 3-song set. I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host for the most. You are tuned into episode number 272, post-show edition, part 2. I'm Sarah Whizbanger, and I am so glad that you are here hanging out with me today, whether you are listening to me through the Deezers, the YouTubes, or the, what's the other one, SoundCloud. I'm just glad you pushed play, and thank you so very much. That was a band from Berlin, Germany. They call themselves heavy metal and post-punk, and they are called Lunar Shadow. I played the track for you, Frozen Goddess, which comes off their Far From Light album, released on Cruz reduced. Where did that come from? Released. There is no reduction when it comes to post. Actually, maybe that's not true. It's reduced into, never mind. Okay. It came out on Cruz del Sur Music, released on their Far From Light album back in 2017. Geez, that's almost 10 years old. How about that? Wow. I got this from the good folks over at Clawhammer PR, I guess a long time ago. Lunar Shadow can be found on Bandcamp and Facebook at Lunar Shadow Band, and they are super groovy. Before that was another super groovy band from Tour France. They are called First Draft, and the track is called Agnostalgic. It took me a minute. I misspelled it like 3 different times. So I'm like, wait, what is it? Agnostalgic. So I just thought it was French. And I realized, no, it's not. It's agnostalgic. I think they might have invented it. I didn't look it up, but I'm not sure. October and Start over, Sarah Whizbanger. They're an independent band out of Tours, France, and their album, An Instant Before the Promise of Dawn, was released in October of 2025. I got this from Shake Promotions. See, I told you I get a lot of post stuff from Shake Promotions. First Draft on Bandcamp. We are First Draft on Facebook, and First Draft Music there on the Instagram is where you can pick that album out and check out this band and look at the other good stuff that they have. Close the Hatch from Dayton, Ohio with Hedge Rider started us off this longer 3-song set on the Whizbanger Show Post Edition Part 2. They're from Dayton, Ohio. Close the Hatch. They are also an independent band, and this album is currently Name Your Price on Bandcamp. So zip on over there and grab that, won't ya? Bandcamp Friday this week, next week, April 1st. What is that? April 3rd is Bandcamp Friday. So it's free anyway. I mean, no, it's not free. There's nothing free. Name your price, but you could wait until the April Bandcamp Friday and then pick it up then if you want to do that. I don't know if Bandcamp has corrected this issue, but it used to be that you could fill your cart on Bandcamp, and if you didn't buy the cart like within 24 hours, all your shit disappeared. That happened to me a long time ago, and I haven't tested it to see if it's still a problem. But man, I had all this stuff in there. I was like waiting years ago, and I was waiting for Bandcamp Friday, and I was going to buy everything. And I didn't even think that I should have tracked what I had put in there, because I thought I was bookmarking it by putting in a shopping list, like you do on other e-stores. Whatever. Anyway, and no, it was gone. And I didn't remember because there was so much stuff in there. It was like, I was payday and I had like 10 or 11 different, 15, I don't know, albums in there, and yeah, gone. So there it is. So now what I do is I favorite it. I put it on my wish list. And then on Bandcamp Friday, I go shopping. And so that's my pro tip for the day. All right, next up, we are going to head over to New York City and listen to one of my favorite bands. I asked these guys if they would be into being interviewed by me for the Banger Blast, so we'll see what they say. They're called Clouds, Taste Satanic, and I have been following them for many, many years. I'm a huge fan. I own everything of theirs. They're so great. And they now just send me promos directly, so I feel sort of special. Sun Death Ritual Parts 1 through 3 is what you heard on that. Is what you're gonna hear. God, wow, is what you're gonna hear on this one. You're just gonna hear the one song because it's 7 minutes long. And it wasn't the longest one, and it wasn't the shortest one. It's mid-range. And they're amazing. You should go check them out. Facebook, Instagram, and Bandcamp. You can check them out. Clouds, Taste Satanic. Berlin 23, it's a live album released independently by the band, and it dropped in March, this month, on the 6th. So go and check them out while you listen to them, and close your eyes. I don't know, go for a walk, or do something that's going to take you 10 minutes. Do your dishes, I don't know. To go for a walk around the block, something that'll take 10 minutes, because you shouldn't really do anything that requires your brain to do anything when you listen to Clouds Taste Satanic. It's very meditative. But I stand corrected because sometimes I do work to their music. Never mind. Don't listen to me. You should listen to me because I share awesome music with you. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. Clouds Taste Satanic up next. I'll see you in about 10 minutes. Thank you so much for hanging out. be able to get this one done pretty quickly since you only heard the one song, and I already told you a little bit about this band, Clouds Taste Satanic, an instrumental post-metal band out of New York City. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be in New York City for a couple weeks in May. Maybe they'll play a show. It would be awesome. If you guys are listening, I would love to meet you. Maybe you could do that interview in person. How rad would that be? March 6th this month dropped. Berlin 2023 dropped. You can go listen to it. It's really good. I'm not usually big on live albums because there's always some dork that's like screaming and ruining everything for me, and I have like major ADHD brain, so that's all I'll hear. It's like, 22% of you will relate to that, but it's like you're listening to a live album. There's a Cramps live album. It's great, and you just like the whole time there's this person screaming, like the whole time, like screaming, like they're in a horror movie, and it completely ruins it for me because otherwise the rest of the album is like perfect. It's kind of annoying. But not on this one. Berlin 2023. It's just wonderful, beautiful music by Clouds Taste Satanic. Okay, next up, we're going to go. Oh, this is the one I just got like this morning. I just got this. Somebody from Discipline PR sent me a message, a new listener to the Whizbanger Show, and thought that this band Western Grip would be a good fit. And I was like, oh my God, post-punk doom country. That sits right in my heart. Yes. So that's what you're going to hear from this band, Western Grip. They're from Columbia, Missouri. And I'm going to play the track for you, Sidewalk. And I will be back to talk to you a little bit more about the songs that you're going to hear. This is a really good set. I'm excited for it. Okay. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host with the most. And I'll see you in a little bit. I'll talk to you in a little bit. I won't see you. Maybe I'll see you. But I'll definitely talk to you in a little bit after these 3 songs play. Thank you so much for...
I
All right. What's up? We are moving and grooving and a little more than halfway through the show today. That was that was fun. Little bit of movement for a post show. It's not always meditative. Sometimes it's fun and heavy, and that's what we just had. Fun and heavy. Buñuel, which is a post-punk hardcore band out of my neck of the woods, San Francisco, California. A Killing on the Beach was the name of that track, and I got this from the good folks over at Rarely Unable. The 2024 October release of Mansuetude was a co-release with Skin, Graft-Records, and Overdrive Records, and you can find Buñuel and check them out and see what they're up to on YouTube, Instagram, Linktree, Bandcamp, and Facebook. Don't forget, favorite wish list that Buñuel albums that you want and buy them on the April Bandcamp Friday. Actually, you know what? Let me not eat crow. Is it bandcampfriday.com? Because I already talked about Bandcamp Friday and now I'm like, what if it's not? Oh, shit. Okay. Well, there's no Bandcamp Friday in April, apparently. The next Bandcamp Friday is May 1st. So ate a little bit of crow, not too much. Why is there no Bandcamp Friday in April? I'm asking the ether. If you know what, just whatever. It just is. There's no Bandcamp Friday in April. The next one is May 1st. Appropriately enough. Before that was Miracle Blood, a post-punk noise industrial outfit out of Boston, Massachusetts, with their song Pets and Owners. You have heard this band on the Whizbanger Show before. I am a big old fan of this band. Ear Split PR is where I got this great stuff for Miracle Blood. They are on the label Nefarious Industries, and their album wow, I'm just doing awesome. Their album Hello Hell released in November of 2024, and you can pick it up on their Bandcamp page, Miracle Blood. Check out their website at Miracle Blood Music and engage with them and like them and follow them and all the things, and then tell them Sarah Whizbanger sent ya. Before that, top of the set, Western Grip, a post-punk doom country outfit out of Missouri, California. Wow, I should just play music and not talk. Missouri, USA, Columbia, Missouri. Their album Follow Your Nightmares just dropped on the 5th of March this year, 2026. They are on Vina Records, and I got this from a new PR that just started sending me stuff, Discipline PR, and thank you so much. They were very specific about why they chose and sought me out, the Whizbanger Show, for the music. They were like, you play this, 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 and this. We think this band would be a good fit. They've sent me 3 promos so far, and I'm like, yes, yes, and yes. So another amazing PR group in my coffers. Thank you so much, Discipline PR, for finding me. All right, Sidewalk was the name of the track that you heard from Western Grip, and you can find them on Bandcamp and Instagram at Western Grip. Follow Your Nightmares, released on the 5th of March this year, and you can go grab it on their Bandcamp page. Next up, we are heading to Portland, Oregon. Just looking. Yep, so far, US. That's 4 US, 5. Oh, then we're going to go to Poland. Okay. I'm like, well, that's a lot of US bands in a row. Sort of unusual for the Whizbanger Show sometimes on most of my shows. Sort of, sometimes, most. Wow. How is that for vague? All right, we're going to check out this band called Creaturess. They're from Portland, Oregon, on the west coast of the US&A. And I'm going to play the track for you, Living Rot. They are a doom post-metal shoegaze band out of the Portland area. All right, when I come back, I will tell you a little bit more about this band. And we're winding on down here on the Whizbanger Show, episode number 272, Post Edition Part 2. All right, I hope you're enjoying the show, and I hope you are the music is easing you into whatever day and space you are in. Thank you for pushing play. I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host for the most, and away we go. All right, and that's it. It's a wrap for today. I've got one more track for you before I send you on your merry way. I hope you have enjoyed the post-show edition part 2 of the Whizbanger Show, episode number 272. Wow, we've been doing this for a minute, huh? All right, that was a band from Poland. They are a sludge black post-metal band out of Warsaw. Their name is Fiasko, and that's with a K, Fiasko. All right, I'm studying Polish right now, and because I'm just kind of that guy who likes to study languages, I'm going to do my best. I did not look up how to pronounce this because I wanted to test my metal, so we'll see. Sztuczna kwata. Sztuczna kwato. I think it's kwatą. Sztuczna kwatą. Artificial flowers. I'm going to test myself later. I'm going to see how much I humiliated myself on the air just now. They are from Masovia, Warsaw, Masovia, Poland. And their album Amok was released in November of 2024 on the label Gods of War Productions. I got this from Dominic over at 3 Nation PR. Thank you so much, Dominic, for always sending me just amazing shit. Fiasko Polo on Bandcamp, Facebook, and Instagram. God, I really hope that I pronounced that correctly. All right, check out Fiasko on their Bandcamp page. You can pick up a bunch of their music. They're amazing. Oriska, a post-black metal doom outfit out of Fargo, North Dakota in the USA. It was before that with the track called Sulfur. Their self-titled album was released independently back in 2024, and you can find them at Oriska Collective on Bandcamp, Oriska Band, and Oriska Music on Instagram and Facebook. And their band is spelled Oriska, Oriska. And top of the set was Creaturess from Portland, Oregon. Their self-titled album. Their self-titled album was released in December of 2024 on the label Crystal Cabinet Records. Creaturess, and the track I played for you is called Living Rot. I really like their little blurb about themselves on Bandcamp, so I'm going to share that with you. Cave Doom duo from Portland, Oregon that seeks to examine transformation and beauty through the acceptance and internalization of suffering and the brutality of the natural. Creaturess fuses traditional heavy sounds with experimental field recording, songwriting, and production processes to capture vulnerability as sound. Instagram, Facebook, and Linktree is where you can check out Creaturess, and of course Bandcamp. May 1st for Bandcamp Friday. That brings us current on Let Me Tell You Who You're gonna be exiting with today. We are going all the way to Russia. We are going to Barnaul, Russia, to listen to a single by a band called Cherno, and that's spelled Cherno on Crier Art Records, a killer outfit label out of Russia. And I want to thank you. I know how hard it is for you to be producing and distributing music. Thank you for continuing to send me amazing stuff over there, Crier Art Records. I sent stickers, the Whizbanger Show stickers, a couple years ago. I don't know if they ever made it to Russia. Cherno Metal is on Bandcamp. And that's it. I couldn't find any socials for them, but the track you're going to hear is called Where Does the Fire Begin? So if you really dig this post-black metal outfit out of Barnaul, Russia, you'll head on over to their Bandcamp page and support this band, Cherno Metal. And that's it. I am done. I woke up this morning and all I could do, I've just been having a week of, it's my own fault of being peopled out. Super peopled out. And it's my own fault. I definitely tend to get too involved and too helpful. And I have a big note to myself on the refrigerator now that says, I quit the hospitality business. Because then it just loads up on me and I either am really annoying to people trying to be helpful, or people just end up depending on me and expecting me to do shit. Neither of those things is working out for me, and I'm kind of tired of it. So I'm trying to make some personal adjustments in my internal home. And so yes, I quit the hospitality business. But this morning I was so tense. I just blasted death metal, goat horror mix on Spotify, which is really good, by the way. And I just was like, yeah, we're going to do a death metal show next week. So next week is another death metal show. I think I've already done one this year. What's one more? Can't get enough of death metal. All right, I'm Sarah Whizbanger signing off on this spring day. I hope you are happy, healthy, being kind to yourself and others. I hope you are staying warm. and practicing radical self-care. I'm doing that along with you. I guess that includes getting my taxes done too. I need to do that shit. All right, you guys. I love you all so much. Y'all, not you guys. You, Guis, I guess we can say that, right? I'm trying to be gender neutral because it's respectful and it's the right thing to do. Not because I'm trying to be PC or whatever. Fuck that. I'm just trying to be kind to all the humans on the planet as much as I can. Go hug a tree, smile at a baby, let a baby smile at you. Actually, you know what? I always say smile at a stranger or smile at a baby. How about you let someone smile at you and let it sink in and smile back, right? But I like that. Maybe we need to practice receiving kindness, not necessarily giving it, but let's see what it feels like to receive kindness. That might be even more challenging. Okay, that's my new thing. Receive kindness, everybody. I love you all so much. Thank you for staying to the end with me. Thank you for pushing play. Thank you for sharing the Whizbanger Show podcast, and I sure do appreciate y'all. Have a wonderful, beautiful rest of your day, and thank you ever so much. I'm Sarah Whizbanger, your host with the most, signing off from everywhere and nowhere. Later!